Hello, welcome back to I Want a Lockpick. We're going to continue World 9 today, which is the world of combo doors. Yes, that's what the mechanic is. Haven't beaten the world yet, so Keen doesn't have anything for us to talk to, for us to, converse about. Let's try beating the world at the very least today. We only need one more. 9-6 Candy Shop. Okay. I have to do this and then that. Okay, I see what happens here. When you apply the brown key curse to a combo door, every lock on the door turns brown. If a door has a pure part on it, then it can't be turned brown, but you'll still be able to cut through gold doors like butter. I guess it's knowledge better applied on a different puzzle though. I guess? I'm not sure what that really means, but sure. So this turns the entire door there brown, and so the 8 brown keys I have are used up, and I end up with 0 of everything. Okay, so we start the puzzle with 10 brown and 2 blue. You have the opportunity to duplicate doors, sure. I need to end up with 0 of every color. Okay. What? Okay, so because I don't have any positive master keys, I can't like legitimately open anything in any way I want. It seems like this has to be open with a brown. Maybe at some point later. Okay, here we have a -2 purple, -2 pink. So if I had no browns with me and I had -2 purple and -2 pink, which I guess is possible in a few ways. This goes to -3, this just adds 1, so... Okay. That would add 4 to my brown key count, which is interesting, I guess. Okay. Well, really, the only way to get to a negative amount of pink is to leave this brown. Leave this pink, I guess. If I brown it, I feel like there's no way to get it back. Unless there's some way to go negative, which there is one right here. This allows you to go negative on brown, although that's actually after this door. There's also this, but this brings you up to a positive number of browns, so that doesn't quite work. Right? Right. The door doesn't have a negative aura around it. Like, it doesn't have the white outline, so I'm a bit confused about this, but I think this still adds 4 to your key count. I'm not really sure how to demonstrate this. I can try by doing this, I guess. Alright. Oh, but I don't have the keys for it. Let's see. This brings us to -2 purple. Yeah, and there's no way to go to -2 pink, so I feel like there's just no way this could have happened. Now, I could have duplicated you, obviously. But I also have to get rid of my pink first. It's too brown, yeah. Sorry, I need to get rid of my brown first. I'm not sure how to do that. So is that really true? There are a few ways to do this. Either I... Well... If I did this, this would become a negative brown door. So either way, it's going to cost me a negative number of browns. So I can't really brown it and then walk through. Either I have a negative number of browns, or I have -2 pink. Well, there are a few ways to do it, I guess. I can duplicate you and then get rid of my purples this way. Sorry, pinks this way. Browns this way. What am I saying? So if I did this, I can now open this and go -3. Sure. Okay. So this allows me to collect negative amounts of purple. Oh, -1, right, because it's 2, yeah, because it's 2 blue and -1. Wait, what? Yes, it subtracts 2 cyan and subtracts -1 pink. So it -2 cyan and it adds 1 pink, which brings it to -1. Still can't open this. I mean, I guess I can open this now. This brings me to negative brown, which is great, I guess. But at no point could I have ever gotten -2 purples now. So I guess I have to do this first. Well, I mean, even then... Maybe I don't sign flip first. Well, I need to sign flip to open this. And then I'm basically out of ways to get to -2 purple. Okay, I'm not analyzing this very well. I legitimately have no idea how to think about this anymore. Okay. Lots of sign flips here. Eventually, we need to open all of these manually, right? You could brown them and then open them up, but the negatives don't work like that. You can't brown a negative door and open it up with negative brown keys, because the negative effect would undo this aura. And there are no master keys here, no positive master keys here, so we cannot open these in any other way besides authentically. Therefore, I legitimately will need -2 purple and -2 pink at some point. Okay, we've cleared that up. How do we get -2 pink? There is one way to do it, and that is opening this door authentically. Okay. How do we get to -2 purple? There are a few ways to do it. But this is it's either this or this. Okay. So what I can see is that potentially I need to duplicate this. Right? Well, I thought we duplicated it and then opened both, which is not good. Okay. Let's try and think this through again. This is one way to get the -2 purple. This is another way to do that. Okay. However, for any of these to actually work, I cannot have any brown aura with me. This is the only way to get to -2 pink, therefore it cannot be touched by brown at all. And my reasoning is that in order for this to be used, if I brown it, I have to unbrown it at some point. There is only one way to get to a negative number of brown keys, which is this door. This door doesn't work because it subtracts negative values, so it gives you a positive number of brown keys. This door gets you a negative number of brown keys, which can be used to unbrown. However, that cannot be used to unbrown this, because this must have been gone before I can even think about getting to this door. Therefore, can't brown you at all. I think that's just a hard rule. I can, however, choose to unbrown this maybe. But if I can't touch you, how do I get rid of my 10 brown keys? I feel like I have access to 1 duplication. So like the logical way to do it is 4 here, then 3 here, and another 3 here. There's a 2 door here as well, which doesn't help. So I feel like this is forced, but then it doesn't really work anymore. So after this point, there's only one way forward, which is this. That gives me -2. I can't open this still because I need a positive number of brown keys, purple keys. Can't open this because I need minus pink keys. And once I sign flip, I'm dead. Because once I sign flip, there's no way to go back to -2 purple. This goes to -1. And nothing else. Well, there's a sign flip somewhere. Actually, if I duplicated this, oh, okay. That's how you get to -2. Okay, there you go. You need more than one copy of this door. There. This brings us more purple aura. Yeah. Honestly, I can get rid of it like this. If I open these two, there must be some way to get rid of my science. Okay. This will get rid of my science. In fact, this will subtract cyan by quite an amount. Okay, so let's say what I did instead was... Oh... I was gonna brown the blast door, but I can't because I need the blast door to go to 0 before opening this twice for -2. So now how do I get rid of this brown aura? I don't know how to get rid of the brown aura. Here's a way to get -3 brown, which doesn't actually work. Oh, I mean, even if it did work, I would still have brown aura with me. So like, this doesn't work because it doesn't let me get rid of science anymore. And that is the only way to get rid of science. So I can't brown that. Okay, where do I get rid of these 4 browns? I mean, the only thing I can think of right now is that. But then how do I get to -2 purples that way? Let's see. -2 works like this. And then I can't do anything except sign flip. Okay. Here, okay, here I have other options. I can get rid of this and, like, duplicate some doors. I can duplicate a door twice. So with the ability to duplicate a door, let's try duplicating this one. Don't sign flip yet, so open this. I can duplicate that. That's not gonna help. Is it? I mean, it doesn't bring us to 0. What other doors can I duplicate? This? This will bring us to 0, and I can go negative by doing that. That's interesting. Ooh, and then unbrown this. Okay. I like that. That clears all my science. And then by sign flipping and clearing out 1 pink key, that brings us to 0 in all directions. All colors. There you go. Very confusing, but we worked our way there. This is the kind of solve I don't really like, because there's very little logic in it. But I feel like at some point the logic kind of goes away. And it's around the combo doors where this happens. Alright, so... okay, we are going to the letter levels now. Let's do that. Popsicle stand. Ooh, lots of doors. Oh geez, what in the world? Okay. By the very nature of combo doors, there are theoretically infinitely many varieties of doors that can be generated from just a few colors. This also allows for some funny looking tall doors, such as the ones here. We've seen white doors before, so it only makes sense to switch the game up a bit. Sure. Okay, so I have the option of collecting some of these and starring some of these. I cannot unstar, which is something I notice. I feel like... What is this? I need 4 of these 5 of these keys, right? How do I even figure this out? I can start by maybe marking all the effects of these doors. So like here I can start by saying this is a -2 on cyan. This is a 0 on purple. This is a -1 on orange, I think. Yeah, because it subtracts 2 and adds 1. And I'm not entirely sure what I want to like do about this, but yeah. I mean, we can see what the requirements are, I guess. Here we subtract one from purple. I think there's a way to work this out very slowly. This is a 0 on orange. And then this is a subtract 2 on white. They all seem to be negatives so far. And then potentially some net zeros, but some null moves. But they all seem to be negative. This one is positive though. Okay. There's negative on white again. This is positive 2 on cyan actually. And then this is minus 2 on purple. Minus 2 on purple. This is minus 3 on purple. That's new. This is minus 1 on white. A lot of these are negative again. And then this is plus 2 on cyan. Okay, cyan is receiving a lot of positive treatment. This is subtract 2 from cyan. Subtract 2 from orange. And then this is minus 2 plus 1, so this is minus 1 for white. Okay, again, lots of negatives going on here. Not sure how to start with this. But I can see there are some interesting things happening on with the restrictions. Let's talk about the restrictions. So some of these require negative amounts of values, which is why I don't want to start everything immediately. Some of these require negative amounts of keys. Orange, however, seems to always be positive. And there is no requirement for anything except one orange. I feel like that is there for a reason for me to just pick up the 1 star orange, and that's all I need to do. This allows me to open... Sorry, this will never impede me from opening a door with an orange lock on it. Okay. Next, what other colors are there? White. White is always positive 1 or 0. That is a problem. Because at some point I might need 0 white, which is why the minus 2s exist for white. Okay, so I don't star that yet, because I want to get down to 0 at some point. And I say that because every single one of these has a 0 white requirement at some point. In fact, I can actually say I can't touch this one yet, and I can't touch this one yet because there's there's 0 white requirement in front of it. The only things I can touch early on without having to go through a door requiring 0 white is this one and this one. And the only one that works is this one because it's the only one that actually brings me down to 0. This one doesn't. And I can't touch these yet. So this is the only one that brings me down to 0. Okay. So let's mark this as yes, I will need to open this door. Cool. I need 0 purple to open that. Can we work on purple now? Purple has some interesting requirements. There's a 1 required here right after a... Oh! It requires a positive 1 immediately after it requires a negative 1. Now how is that possible? Star? I don't think so. There's no master key anywhere. There's no way to go positive after you reach a negative value. Yeah, like starring doesn't change anything. Starring doesn't increase your count. These are all either null moves or negative moves. Yeah, okay. So, can we already prove that this is just not it? We do not collect this one? Is there no way to go from here to here? I want to say potentially yes, actually. We don't collect that. Okay. So I feel like we can just draw the line right here. This does nothing to orange, so there's no point opening it. This subtracts purple by 1, so there might still be reason to open this door. But there's no point opening this door. And once I open this door immediately becomes unopenable. So in either case, whether I open this or not, this door is never opened. So okay, there you go. Meaning we need to collect everything else. Sure. Still, we need to find a way to go from the amount of purples we have to -1. I see 0, -1, -2, and -3. We need to go down to -1, which requires a net -4. And the only combo that works is this and this. Okay. Cool. And we will need to collect the -3 first. Actually, we can go a lot lower than -1. In fact, we have to. We have to go to -2 here. Oh. Okay, there might be a possibility that I just ignore this as well. I just collect the -3 and -2, going down to -2, which allows me to open this. I can open every negative purple door afterwards. And in fact, I see that every purple lock, besides the one that I eliminated, is a 0 and below. So I think the first move, in fact, is probably just to go -3 here. Yeah. Now I can open every door with a 0 in it. This one, for example. Also that one. There are some adverse effects which I might want to deal with. But we do know for white, this is something I open. So we should. And then with that, I can open a bunch of other stuff. Okay, let's work on cyan then. Oh, wait a minute. We have a similar problem here. We need to go from negative to positive. But that is possible because there are positive... there are cyan doors that give you a net positive. So unlike the purple problem here, the cyan is resolvable. Okay, to do that, we need to go negative first. To open this, which... Well, I can see only one way to do it. -2, -2. That goes to -1, which works. And then we need to add at least 2 to go into positive. Okay. Sure. That means that before going down to 0 white, I need to have opened this, which I can do. Now I go to 0 white and open this one. Now we are negative on cyan, so I can open this. And we need to go negative on purple as well, which I can do. There is one way to do it, which is this. Okay, so now being negative on purple, I can collect this to go positive on cyan again, which I want to do because every lock from here on out is positive. I can open this for free. That's not going to change anything. I can open this for free as well. That will decrease purple, but I'm okay with that. There's a 0 white door here, which I have to open first. So this should do nothing either. Now I can clear out my white just by doing this and this. That requires 2 cyans, which I can do. Oh, I need... Oh, hold on. There's a blank white here. I think that means that I'm gonna have to start my white count. So I can keep at 0. Which will allow me to open this and then open that. And because I have at least 3 cyans, I can open this. Alright, there you go. Just, can I listen to the sound effect of opening a combo door? It sounds like a camera shutter. Yeah, they all sound like camera shutters, I think. Does this one sound like a camera shutter? Yeah. Okay. Fancy quirk. But there you go. Alright, this wasn't as difficult because there were some easy leads to follow to start. Alright, this is 9F. Yeah, this is the first world where we have an equal number of letter levels and number levels. Okay, let's do another one. Wow, big door. Is this a math puzzle? Sure is. Huge door. Wow, that is a really big door. Well, do you think you can decipher what it means? By the way, I'm pretty sure that there are a whole lot of ways you could solve this one, but there's also an easy way to generate more solutions if you already have one. but I'll leave that up to your discretion. Okay, so this is a very big multiplication thing. What we're basically looking for here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11. 11 of orange, however many of that is, along with 14 of cyan, must equal 13337. And that is it. That is the whole equation we're trying to solve. Yeah, I mean, there are so many solutions to this. I'm going to offer one right now using a method that we should have learned pretty early on in school. This is called the method of assumption. Assume the solution involves all orange and 0 cyan. That might not quite work, but we'll see. What is 13337 divided by 11? It's around 1212 with remainder. And that remainder I think is 5? Yeah, it's so 13337 is 11 times 1212 plus 5. I don't think this works. I don't know why I decided to do this assumption method. Let's try assuming everything is cyan instead, and there's 0 oranges. 13337 divided by 14 gives us 952 with some remainder. That remainder looks like potentially 6? No, 7? 8? 9? It's a remainder of 9. So this is equivalent to 14 times 952 plus 9. Yeah, okay, and the idea is to take the 9 along with some number of 14s until you can distribute that evenly within the 11s. So this, for example, 9 requires 2 more to make an 11. So this is equivalent to 14 times 952 plus a 12 plus a 2. Sorry. So that means I need to take 1 out of the set of 14s. I can split that into 12 plus 2, and then with the 9 becomes an 11. So now this becomes 2 times 11 plus an extra 1. And now the goal is to grab some sets of 14 to balance out that 1, which I can probably do. So how I grab out some 14s, and then I find a value that added 1 gives you a multiple of 11. That shouldn't be too difficult. We should be able to find it decently early on. Let me just run through the multiples of 14 here. So that's 28, 42, 56, 70, 84, 98. There's one. 98 is 14 times 6, I think? No, it's 14 times 7. Okay. So we took out 14 sets of 7 sets of 14. 900 and let me do my math here. Take out 7 sets, you get 944. And we get 98 extra, which added with a 1 is 99, which is 9 times 11. With the 2 sets of 11 that we have, that gives us 11 times 11. Perfect. So that's one solution. This doesn't work because... Oh no, actually it does work. Yeah. So 14 times 944 plus 11 times 11 is that. Okay. I thought it didn't work because you can't get science to this high of a value, but you can in binary. So the next step, which I should probably continue, is to determine these values in binary. So Okay, let's do some calculation. Let's do this manually. So 944 is one set of 512, which is 1. It is one set of 256. It is also one set of 128. At that point, the remainder is 48, which you can't add 64 basically. No 64s in here, but you can put a 32 in here, and you can put a 16 in there as well. So it's a 32, a 16, and then 08, 04, 02, 01s. Okay, 11 is really simple. 11 is 8 plus 2 plus 1, so it's 1, 0, 1, 1. So these are the values in binary. Let's go collect them right now. 11 orange is 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay, in cyan it's 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. There you go. And that should give us 13337. Math. Oh, that was very nice. Okay. I think I'm done for this episode, honestly. This is so much. The combo doors, man. I'm sorry, I have no idea how to deal with these combo doors. They're just a lot for me. Let's talk to Kina before ending off the episode. Kina, what do you have to say? That library. I'm a little sad now. I tried grabbing some of the books in the library, but they're all fake. Like, not even made of paper, fake. There's a lot of work to make these artificial worlds. Filling out a library is hard, and copy-pasting blocks is way easier. Does your magic allow you to just make a bunch of books? Generally, magic requires a lot of thought and specification to actually work. Best I could do is probably grab a dozen or so real books and just make a bunch of copies. But you might be able to tell I was a bit more focused on the puzzles. That's a shame. I guess there isn't really any story for these worlds either then. Not really. Dang, they're all so beautiful too. I'm sure you could at least make something up. Heck, I could probably make something up. The concept just kind of strikes me as weird. As in, where do you even draw the line when going for immersion? I feel like that's not even a question you should be asking, considering I'm in your world. This is enough immersion already. Like, you are so fine to the immersion, like, scale, I guess. On the spectrum of 0 immersion to 100% immersion, you are so close to 100% you might as well just keep going. Yeah, exactly. I'd probably feel compelled to go all out if I went for it. Making a little flavor text story isn't really my thing. I'm sure that someone would appreciate it. A little bit of depth can go a long way, I think. You're probably right. Either way, it's not really a priority of mine at the moment. Fair enough. Maybe I'll think about it a bit more. Yeah, maybe Lily can go sit in the room and like write her own stories. There are like a bunch of books here that like you can actually read, so I guess Kina did think of entertainment in this sense. That's nice. Alright, so next episode, obviously going back to World 9 and completing the rest of the levels. Maybe all in one episode, maybe not all in one episode. Just the concept of combo doors is kind of tiring me out. So you can definitely tell my solving pace is slowing down a lot. Now that I have to consider each combo door individually and what they do. It takes a lot more effort to do that. Like even compared to the bi-colored doors, that's just a lot. It's just too much. So yeah, we'll work on that slowly next episode then. Until next time though, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye!